Welcome back to another cloud platform for beginners using AWS. Today's video is on the console and home, and without wasting further time, let's jump straight into it. Now, when you're logging for the first time, hopefully, this is what you're going to be seeing. And in your case, you may have something that looks more like this. So I'm just going to reset that. So this is the default view based on AWS. They show you your recently visited resources and then running application, if any, in any particular region. So hence why you have a drop down here to see which application is running where. Now, what I'm usually interested in is mainly cost, and I rather move my cost and usage right here and then my application next to it. Now, when it comes to application that I recently visited, I prefer to use these favorites that you see on my navigation bar. And everything here is within the AWS ecosystem. So the green line tells you that this is AWS, so that everything that you see here, every time I log in or log out, it remains the same for as long as I am using the same account or profile. This will come back to this position, which is cool. So therefore, I don't need this widget to show me what and where to put them. So cool stuff. Now, in terms of documentation, there's quite a few places where you can get information. First one being the search bar. If you type a keyword, for example, I'm typing EC2, you can see that I have a number of sources where that keyword can be found. Now, this is cool because sometimes you may not necessarily be looking for services. You could be looking for features or maybe some documentation or maybe events or blogs. So it's a cool place to search. And then next to it, you have your other list of information giving you the list of services, applications, and so on and so forth. It looks a little bit redundant, but I guess it has its place. And the way you go about adding your favorite here is basically by adding this little star here or not, or checking it. So then AWS adds the favorite to your navigation bar. Now you also have these burger here, little menus where you have your application, a little bit redundant, but necessary if you have, assuming if you have a lot of application and spans more than 1 or 2 or 3 pages and you want to have a look at them at once. I think this is a cool place to look at because a widget may not give you all that clarity. So therefore, you may want to go and use this. And also have your services based on categories. So if this is your approach, here it is. Many places to get the same information, right? Now, you also have your region, like I said earlier on, there are multiple of them. One recent one being the Cape Town one, I think, one of the newest. And you can also have a way to manage them, manage the regions, and manage local zones. So totally up to you. Next to the zone selections, you have your browser settings for the best view. And then you have your support. AWS offers, I think there are 3 options. I haven't checked, but we'll have a chance to have a look as we go through these videos. I'm on the free tier, definitely. I can still get some requests. I can still ask a few things to AWS from AWS and get response for it, but it is limited. So if I want, there are some requests that requires me to pay a certain fee or to have a certain subscription, and therefore I have to move to those options. At the moment, not necessary. I'm all good. I can use AWS all by myself. And then you have any other documentation and links relevant to this topic, and more documentation and more feedback And then you have your notification center. You want to keep an eye on these for probable outages or problem with about some resources, and AWS will notify you of any major or minor event. Now you have your Cloud Shell. Ideal if you probably don't have, you prefer to run or manage your resources using command line. This is a cool way to go about doing that directly from the browser. No need to set up any machine or component on your machine. Just run the command straight away. It's cool stuff. And then you have your, what else? In terms of documentation, when it comes to documentation, you also have your console home documentation here, which is a summary of the resources or page that you're currently looking at. So that's a cool thing to have. So if you browse through or go to a different resource page, you're gonna get different information here, which I found very useful. And then you have your Amazon Q, which happens to be a free tier at this stage, and therefore I can pass in my query here and get a summary of my request with a few examples and a few relevant information in a very compact and concise way. So this is cool stuff, and a lot of places to get information, and that is more or less what is available. Last but not least, you have a couple of links at the bottom of your screen. Privacy, terms, and cookie preferences. You can set them up and save your preferences, and that's basically it. So I hope you've learned something new. Until next time, keep well. Bye bye.